Welcome today to the TMBT Media, the Milton Bell Basketball Show, hosted with my famous co-host, Aaron Turner, who we have today. We're blessed to have today. Aaron, are you there with us?
Yeah, definitely. What's up, peoples?
Definitely. We're blessed to have Aaron here with us. He has such a busy schedule going on, but we appreciate him taking the time to help us with this part of the media program. Aaron, how's everything going back in Richmond, Virginia?
Oh, it's cool. Good weather, mid-70s, springtime, finally.
Right. This is our first time actually broadcasting. I'm actually here in New Jersey, and Aaron is in Richmond. So this is our first time doing this on location. But we wanted to talk today. We wanted to start a little bit today. Aaron and I were just talking about the Andre Ingram story. And because I personally know Andre Ingram and have watched him come along as a young man, from a young kid playing at Highland Springs High School for the legendary coach George Lancaster, and to see what he was able to do the other day on the basketball court was truly amazing. And so I wanted to kind of turn it over to you, Aaron, to kind of elaborate on what we've been talking about for the past couple days about this young man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. It's an awesome story. Just refresh the listeners don't know the whole deal. Brother Ingram, he's a guy, I believe around about 32 years old now, who has been playing in an NBA developmental league for about 10 years, and finally got that big call from the LA Lakers. So he's going to be now, blessed to be playing with the LA Lakers franchise, with the historic LA Lakers franchise of the Magic Johnson and Shaq and Kobe Bryant and, all the greats. So he able to, continue that long legacy. So that's a good shout out to him, with that. And, the thing about that, Milt, is just like, it shows that, never give up on your dreams, because there's no time limit on your dreams. A lot of people want dreams to happen now or tomorrow or whatever, but this is a lesson to not only just, young kids, but just, all of us in general, just to stay focused, stay the course, and, good things are bound to happen. Simple as that.
Right. And you hit it on the head, brother. You hit it on the head. For those of us in the basketball world in Richmond, Virginia, Andre Ingram is no rookie to the game of basketball, to the community. This young man, like I said, he's been, I'm 47, so I've probably been knowing him since he was about 16 or 17. And he is one of the most humble young men that you will ever see, one of the most humble people that you will ever have a chance to talk to. So it's quite funny or quite ironic that he has the chance to do the things that he's been doing. It's quite ironic that he is one of those guys that God blesses. He carries himself as a man of God, and he is being rewarded for that. And so it just shows, it just goes to show our listeners, and for our young basketball players that are dreaming and want to play professional basketball, and you put in all this hard work and maybe it doesn't pay off in the beginning, you just got to keep plugging away at it. You just got to believe. You just got to keep plugging away at it, and God will take care of the rest. Andre Ingram is a perfect example of that. And so if he is anything, he's an inspiration. He is a young man who is the epitome of hard work, pays off.
Right.
I think you will agree, Aaron Turner. I think you will agree, won't you?
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, it's no timeline on success. Success can either come tomorrow or 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now. There's no timeline. Just, like I said earlier, just, keep focused on it, and, great things are bound to happen.
Right. For those people that, like you said, don't know who Andre Ingram is, you can Google him. And for those of us that are blessed enough to know him, it really made me feel good to see something happen to any basketball player, something positive like that, a player's dream. We all know for us guys that played and lived it, it's a dream. But to see the way that his teammates and even the teammates from the other team were congratulating him. I saw Chris Paul go over and congratulate him, and so it just shows that basketball is a brotherhood, and that everyone wants to see everyone do well. I think there's a lot of money involved, but at the end of the day, come on, how can you not feel good for this young man?
Right. And like I say, it's, like you said, it's a brotherhood, and you're talking about 32. And the thing about that is that, 10 years ago, 32 was on the downside of your career. Now with technology, sports medicine, 32 is pretty much like your prime now.
Correct.
So it's like he still got some years left. Real good years left. Just keep working out. Staying healthy, keeping shape, and so it's definitely great things bound to happen for the brother.
Right. It's great what you're saying. It's incredible because it's one of those things that you hope, especially from me, from an aspect of wanting to have kids experience it, and it's just incredible to see it unfolding. And just by the grace of God, I happen to know the young man, so it really, as an old guy, I think you and I talk about it all the time. The older you get, you feel stuff in different ways. It touches you in different ways, man. And so, just because I'm sure that Coach Lancaster was watching and just smiling, because it has to. It's a story that you can share on any level. It doesn't just have to pertain to basketball. It can pertain to anything. It can pertain to anything. And because all human beings have dreams. I don't care who you are. All human beings have dreams. So I don't care who you are. All human beings have dreams.
Yeah. And we actually got to get this brother on the show before he gets too famous too.
I think it's too late for that, brother. I think it's too late for that. The young man is.
Yeah, he probably just all over the place now. But again, just definitely, it's a good look for Richmond, Virginia, and again, just the basketball world and youth sports, and we talk about the legendary Coach Lancaster. Those around the world, may not know, but this the legendary Coach Lancaster has played a significant part in basketball and sports in this area. One of the many, I call them, kind of like the golden era of basketball coaches in that area. You have the Lancaster, the Dreets, and Bo Jones. You name them, quite a few of them.
Right.
Out there and stuff. And Coach Lancaster actually just retired probably a couple of years ago. So, out of 40-something years. So, again, I know he is definitely, proud of the young man because, he played a part in it, and, especially when you're dealing with high school and sometimes rec, it's just that, they put the first building blocks in, your success as basketball, whether, and not even basketball, just life in general, because even if you don't pursue basketball on a college or pro level, youth athletics, I believe is, so important because, it should teach you, one of the main things is winning and losing and how to win and lose. And just like this young man definitely learned something, as far as, about, persevering and, keeping focus and, keeping his eyes on the prize.
Oh, man. I'm going to think you hit it right on the head. It's one of those things where you get a chance to see that it's one of those things where I'm sure, because like you said, 32 is still young, and so he'll have a chance, and he's a feel-good story. So I saw with Kobe and Magic Johnson, and a lot of the people, the ex-Lakers were just pulling for him, but the people, Twitter was going crazy. So it was just one of those things. To me, I compare it to the Jeremy Lin situation in New York.
Right. That's a good comparison.
Right. Because he was a sensation. He caught the world by storm with this feel-good story and the work that he had put in. And so I'm hoping for great things for this young man. And I was sad to see because not only did he or does he have a feel-good story, this man had 19 points in his first, I think it may have been a Lakers record or something to that extent, where this man had 19 points in his first outing. So that's huge, man. Yeah. That's huge.
Definitely huge. And the thing about athletics, and you can be you know about it yourself, Milton, is that a lot of times we see it all the time in the like March Madness and the NCAA tournament. You got these small schools knocking off these bigger schools and everything, and a lot of times I tell people all the time, and you're one of the ones who attended the great Georgetown University, and a lot of times the difference between the bigger schools and the small schools is pretty much the attendance, or how many people that go there. It might not be just a lot of people just say, oh, you're not that good because you're at this smaller school, and that's not necessarily true. So again, it's just almost like just play ball and work hard at it, and like I say, 19 points first year pro game. That's awesome.
That's big, man. That's incredible. It just shows that, and Kenny Smith, Shaq, Charles Barkley, all those guys said, as we all know, that when you get that type of chance, you have to be ready. You have to be ready because it's your chance. Chance that you've been waiting for 10 years. So why would you do yourself a disservice and not be ready? It's kind of what we try to share with our pro players and high school players and even the young players that we teach. When you get that chance to be seen in front of a group of coaches, or you get that chance to be seen, you want to be ready. You don't want it to be any doubt in your mind, and this young man was ready. Was ready.
Yeah. And that's a good point. Being ready is also, sacrificing. So, and that's a sacrifice on a daily. That's not a sacrifice on, when I feel like it or whatever. And, a lot of times, I heard somebody say this a while back. It's like, it's never the right time to be successful. And when I explain that means you will have days you don't feel like going to the gym or shooting them jump shots or whatever. But, at the same time, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, all of them had them days like that. But they loved the game so much and they wanted to be great and be great in their professions. So, again, that shows another lesson to the young folks and even adults and whoever. You gotta just keep on pushing, do the bad days, do the good days, or whatever.
Right. Well, speaking of which, my brother Aaron Turner, while I have you here, I want to take a moment. We talked about Andre Ingram, but I also want to take a moment to thank you, my brother, for everything that you do in the community, everything that you've been doing to help TMBT Media. And I want people to know that this program that we're speaking on right now probably would not be happening if it were not for Aaron Turner and his wife. So definitely want you to be commended. You are to be commended for what you do, and you also now are the reason that I'm trying to get into the TV, trying to get into the TV world, the video world, the film world, because you invited me onto your TV show, the Aaron Turner Show on, I think it was Comcast, that you had me come down to the studio, and that was an amazing experience for me. And so I just want to take this time while I got you live on air, and you always give me so much praise, brother. You always give me so much praise on air that I want to reciprocate. That's what we do as brothers, as human beings, as a culture, as a people, even more than a culture. As people, we should be kind to those that are kind to us. So just want to say thank you.
I mean, thanks. A lot, and it's I mean, I love it, and I love, just sharing what I know. I don't, I may not know a lot, but I will share what I know.
Hey, brother, you know a lot now. I can't let you underbet yourself. It's funny because for those people that know you, they know that they will understand what I mean when I say and call you the media guru, because sometimes I call you with questions and I'm like, hey, Aaron, how does this work? And you says, Milt, a couple of days ago, you told me, says, Milt, if I had the answer to that one, that's the $4 million question right there. It says,
there you go.
And if I had an answer for that one, we would be all billionaires, So tell me a little bit what you thought about the playoffs, man. We finally got the regular season out of the way. Don't take it the wrong way. I hope our listeners don't take it the wrong way, but the regular season is boring. And for those people that know me, they know that I just like playoffs and championship basketball. The regular season counts. Yeah, you have to play it. It's more for the fans, right? But it takes such a toll on the players. Those guys play 82 games. They play back-to-backs and traveling. And, man, you're talking about catching that many flights in that many months. That has to take a toll on the body. And so I'm glad to see that it's wound down to the crunch time. I call it championship basketball. And so wanted to know what you thought about the MVP this year. How do you feel? I know you and I were talking about it earlier.
Wow, yeah.
What do you think about the MVP race, my brother?
Oh, man. It has
Putting you right on the spot, huh? Putting you right on the spot.
No, but it's crazy. It's been incredible the last couple of years because, I'm going to name them. Of course, you got LeBron, you got, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. Who am I leaving out? Durant probably. Is always in the mix. Even down to Steph Curry, and I think the top three would have to be probably LeBron, Westbrook, and Harden.
Right.
And it's crazy because you can have an argument for each one of them, a strong argument.
Right.
At that.
Right.
And and I'm gonna go to each individual. Russell Westbrook. I mean, come on, Dan. The triple doubles, man. I mean, average last and triple double. That is phenomenal.
Right.
That is phenomenal. And and I know if you the basketball historian go back to Big O. I know Big Oscar Robertson had the record with the triple doubles and the season and all this type of stuff. And I don't care where you at in any barbershop across the country or whatever, any era, what Russell Westbrook is doing is huge.
It is.
Yeah, average triple doubles in any era. Any era.
I think you hit it right on the head. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely with him, MVP. Then you got James Harden.
Right.
Okay. The one I hear one little criticism all year with him. Okay, yeah, Chris Paul did become a better team. Okay, that's all the well true. You know, they do become a better team with Chris Paul. But at the same time, this brother's been putting in work for quite a few years now. Exactly. And you know, and making his team better, and you know, the blood and the sweat of doing it. So again, I got to put him in the mix. Exactly. I got to put him in the mix. And then you got, you know, King James LeBron. And the thing with LeBron James is like he get penalized, you know, for being great. Because a lot of people, and the crazy part about it, it's the same thing happened with Michael Jordan. Because people expected Michael Jordan to be great. So now they expected LeBron to be great. Oh, LeBron will have these seasons. Right. But again, you got to realize that the team, you know, first of all, they bust up his team the first part of the year. And, you know, and then now, where he at now, he still maintain, I guess, the quality of even still making the playoffs. Right. You know, after buzzing team. And most people would have just, you know, they would just crumble. Because you got new guys, you know, chemistry, the system, the whole nine. Most people just crumble, but he just kept it going. And, you know, you got a lot of young guys. You got a lot of young guys, got talent, but a lot of young guys. So it's basically just him, you know, and bunch of young guys he's running with. But he still managed to get them into the playoff at a good seed. So, again, you know, that's incredible. And people shy away from that, but he gets penalized because he's LeBron James. Oh, LeBron's gonna do this every year anyway. But do we penalize for the man being great? You know, it's just like, you know. So again, all three, you know, take your pick. Just take your pick.
Right. And you hit it on the head. What these young men are doing, and for LeBron James to be able to continue to be playing at that level at 33 years old, it's quite. But I think it's a testament. We talk about Andre Ingram and his testament and his desire to be great. I really think that I read somewhere, it was a couple days ago, traveling up here, that LeBron James spends like $1.5 million on his body, just in massages and the machines and the workout equipment that he has. He spends $1.5 million. So it's a testament, and I'm sure that he doesn't actually pay for that. I'm sure that his team, his company spends $1.5 million, but I'm sure that money is picked up by his team or by his company. So it's just a testament to, of course, him having the money, but you have so many guys that have that type of money, but they don't invest in their self. They don't invest in their temple or their body. They may be abusing it, or maybe just eating out. This man, all in total, with chef and trainers and dietitians and the workout gurus, not including basketball. This is just taking care of his body. This doesn't include his basketball trainers. This is just his body therapists and stuff of that nature. So it's a testament to what these guys put in, because of course the money comes to those who work hard. And so it's funny because you and I were talking basketball earlier this morning, and from what I'm understanding, in the West Division for the 2018 playoffs, we're going to have Houston versus Minnesota, OKC versus Utah Jazz, Portland Trail Blazers versus New Orleans, and Golden State versus San Antonio in the West. And then in the East, I think you said it's going to be Toronto versus Washington, Cleveland versus Indiana with the King, the 76ers versus Miami, and Boston versus Milwaukee. Now, I've been reading on Twitter probably the past couple of days, Miami and the 76ers are going to be a great matchup. And I'll tell you why. Right. Because they've been talking trash on social media for the past week. And of course, what the young guys say, the new saying is that they don't want smoke. And so in our terms, in older people's terms, it means that those guys don't want to play against us. And so it'll see.
Right.
So it's actually something that I'm circling here because I'm looking forward. That's going to be a great series. I also have circled here Houston and Minnesota is also going to be a great series. Houston is playing some incredible basketball, but Minnesota is a young team. They're playing great basketball. To me, I think they have a deeper bench than Houston, if possible, because you got Derrick Rose, you got Jimmy Butler. I think starts. He just came back from injury.
Right. He just came back. Yeah.
Right. So it's a pretty deep bench. I think OKC is going to beat the Jazz. Be careful with New Orleans, man. Anthony Davis is playing some incredible basketball, man.
Yeah. And then too, his name has not been up there with that 3, but I mean that's an MVP candidate to me
and
as well.
To me right now, he has to be top 5 in the league playing right now, man. I don't care what.
I agree. I agree with that.
Top 5. Toronto and DC. I think Toronto is going to be too much for Washington. Toronto has a pretty deep bench right now. Cleveland's going to be too much for Indiana. Boston and Milwaukee. I see what Kyrie Irving is out for the year. Gordon Hayward as well. But they still have enough to beat Milwaukee. Boston will beat Milwaukee just with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are doing some great things out there, my brother. They are really, they have bright futures. When Boston comes back healthy with a full clip, they're going to be special, man. They're going to be special.
Yeah. In that East, man, it's the scary teams. But you mentioned the two, the Miami and the Philly, and those are the scary teams after this the first round.
Right.
Because the top seeds, if I was top seeds, I wouldn't want to play them, the Torontos and all them, because they especially them young upstarts, man. They hungry. It's not a fear factor, no fear. So it's like them guys like that. It's like they are real scary to play with if I'm the top seeds. And over here in the West, the Golden State and Spurs, the Spurs always will be competitive and getting guys run for the money. I understand that Steph Curry, he's pretty much going to be out into the second round with his injury.
Right.
Yeah, with his injury. So you got to watch that because one thing too, I don't never bet against a Coach Pop team.
Exactly.
Because them guys, so you gotta watch that one. Houston definitely. I agree with the Houston one totally, but I mean it's this is probably gonna be one of the more I guess even kill playoffs in some time that we've had.
Right.
Because because everybody was just assuming Golden State gonna win this thing again, but it's not paved out there for them, even in that West.
Right.
With the mergers of Houston and people like that. So I'm looking forward to it. And I like years like this that you really don't know who's gonna win. You don't even know who's gonna come out the East.
I think it makes basketball fun, especially for us sports guys. Yeah. We're probably tired of LeBron dominating. Even though we know that they're going to be the final two, give me some suspense. I mean,
right. Make it more competitive.
But I tell you what I'm looking for, and you're talking about two young big men who really, I don't think like each other. Is Joel Embiid and Hassan Whiteside, 2 7-footers that when they play, it gets ugly, man. It gets dirty down there. So I'm looking forward to seeing those two young men ball. I think Ben Simmons has clearly, without a doubt, made his sealed up the campaign for Rookie of the Year. I think Ben Simmons, if I had to vote, would be my Rookie of the Year. Of course, I'm biased because I like guys that I can relate to. So if I have to relate to a player and his style of playing, of course, it would be LeBron James. We're pretty close in size. And I would give him the MVP. Right now, I think, honestly, just talking basketball on our show, and of course we can say this, we're not offending anyone, personal opinion here, LeBron James should have won the MVP every year for the past 5 years. So I leave that right there. My MVP, I leave that right there. Good thing we're not doing call-ins. We probably would have a high line right now. But LeBron James is my MVP. Ben Simmons is my Rookie of the Year. How about you? Who you like for Rookie of the Year? I know I asked you about MVP, but as your Rookie of the Year, I think it's coming down to Donovan Mitchell, Ben Simmons. I see they've been having a little Twitter war, a little Donald Trump Twitter war going back. They trying to say that Ben Simmons is not a legitimate rookie, because he got hurt. He came out last year, but he actually got hurt and was unable to play, which means his rookie season starts this year. And the young man is playing incredible.
Yeah. I mean, you're just talking about just nonsense with that because he didn't play. So he's still not a legitimate 2-year player because he didn't play. He didn't play no game. Short time he got injured. He was out most of the time. So, I agree. I agree with Ben Simmons. Rookie of the Year. I definitely agree with that. And LeBron, again, as I said before, I think LeBron is a victim of his greatness. And we've seen it before. I mentioned Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was the same way when he kept on winning the MVP. And people got this thing that people put the thing in their mind and say, "Oh, these guys gonna be great anyway." And it's kind of crazy when you say it out loud. These guys will be great anyway. So let's give it to somebody else, But if they put in the work and and what they do, still reward them for it. Don't give it out because just because this guy didn't get it. And like I say, Harden and Westbrook, they are truly legitimate, but at the same time, that takes a lot for LeBron. And then you're not even, then you still got to look at his finals appearances, the last, recent years or whatever, taking, sometimes he took scrub teams all the way to the finals. That's huge. And the best teams he's taken was the Miami teams. With Wade and Bosh and Ray Allen and them. Those are the best teams he's taken to the finals. But all the other teams, even down to his first Cleveland run, they were scrub teams. They was a step above the YMCA.
Downtown YMCA, Franklin Street. Wow.
Right.
Downtown.
Yeah. So that's huge, man. As a basketball player, that's huge to drag a whole team all the way to the championship game, man. It's easier. This as a ball player, it's easy to. I say easy, but it's easier to get hot to win one game.
Right.
But to win series.
Right.
And then you going all the way to the final, facing a champion with a bunch of scrubs.
Right. Hey, man, want to give a huge shout out while we're on the air. I actually want to give a shout out to my basketball guys down at the downtown YMCA. Those guys really keep me going. It's a place that I've played at since I was 16 years old. So, I continue to go there. John Waller, John Wright, Coach Dip from LCA, those guys, Mark Wilson, just a good group of guys, man. So shout out to those guys. I think they listen every weekend. I want to give a shout out to all of my downtown and my Manchester Y guys. Just to piggyback off what you were saying a little bit. Wanted to ask, I know I've been putting you on the spot and I've been asking about MVP and Rookie of the Year, but who's your sixth man of the year? And if you had to pick one other one, last question of the day, if you had to pick a sixth man of the year, who would it be?
Yeah, well, you actually got me on that one.
Would you go with Lou Williams from the Clippers, or would you go with Aaron Gordon from the Houston Rockets? I think those are the two that I've seen that I've been keeping up with that are in line for the two. I think that one of those guys should get it.
Yeah. Both of them actually been pretty good. And that's a toss up too. That's a toss up too to me.
And I like to see Andre Ingram get sixth man of the year. Why not? I mean, if we're doing some things, then in a perfect world, man, that young man really played well. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, man. I'm looking at the matchups with OKC versus the Jazz. I think Carmelo and Westbrook and Paul George really have had time to gel, and they seem to be a different team now than when they first started. You take these superstars like that, it takes time, brother. It takes time to gel.
Right.
It just don't happen overnight. Basketball ain't like that. So
got to get that chemistry going.
Man, but I think they have done it. I think they've gotten the chemistry, and they're gonna be dangerous, man. If I'm understanding correctly, if OKC wins and if Houston wins, then they'll have to play each other in the second round, it looks like.
I believe so.
That could be interesting, man. Houston has a great team, but no one's going to want to see OKC when it comes down to the thick of it, man. I don't think anyone's going to want to see OKC. I could be wrong.
No, you're exactly right, and that's the scariest one out of probably everybody, because you got three guys that can be hot.
Right.
Three guys.
Right.
George, Westbrook, and Carmelo. So you really don't want to see a team like that. I mean, most people may have one, may have two, but you got three guys.
Very dangerous.
Very dangerous. So you're talking about in 4 games that you got to win, somebody gonna be hot. 2 of them might be hot. So the odds are crazy in OKC favor. It's not gonna be out of 4 games that I can't see that none of them gonna be hot.
Right. I agree with you. I totally agree. Agree.
Real scary.
But to piggyback off what you were saying, it really makes it interesting, because when was the last time that we talked about a 5th seed or a 4th seed? Really, like you said, it's pretty much just been Cleveland and Golden State. It kind of gives us basketball heads. Actually gives us something to talk about, us radio guys and media people. The more that I think about it, it's good for the game. It's good for the kids who want to go and see these pro players. It's good for the parents to be able to take them. The games are more interesting. It's more probably worth the money that you're spending. Some of these tickets are very high, and so to take some kids or a group of kids, we went up to Washington, D.C. It was a couple years ago, man. It was very expensive to see the Wizards. Very expensive. So you at least want to be able to get some good basketball, and so it looks like all the way through East and West is going to be good games. I think TNT is going to be starting. What do they do every Thursday, or they do something? They pick up their pace, I think.
Right. I know the playoffs itself start tomorrow. You got TNT, and then I think closer to like the finals, all of that is on ABC.
Right. So tomorrow for us basketball heads, it's going to be a beautiful day because of the full day of basketball coming up tomorrow. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I gotta, I put myself out there. I got a speaking engagement in the morning, and after that, I'm pretty much totally free to look at basketball.
Right. Well, that's the beauty of it. For those of us that are traveling or at home or doing whatever, you have time all throughout the day to catch you some good basketball. Tomorrow sounds like a good grill day. Tomorrow's going to be a day out on the grill. Maybe it's supposed to be nice weather, basketball all day. So for us basketball guys, us older guys, it's the start to our summer already, right?
There you go. So it's crazy because for the radio guys, I mean, the next month or so is going to be crazy for radio, TV, barbershops, everything. Because I like it because right now you don't have a clear-cut champion or who's strongly going to be in the finals.
Exactly.
You don't have a clear-cut champion. Exactly. And I love it.
Exactly. And like you said, for us basketball heads and people, it's the best part of the season because the playoff starts. The guys, and I don't know, not to say you didn't take it seriously if you didn't make the playoffs, but the teams that were loaded and ready to go, most of these teams make moves during the year or during the offseason to prepare for the playoffs and to make moves and to make position in the rankings. It's kind of like chess or checkers. It's the strategic moves of the general manager or of the player personnel people and the scouting, and they do what they do. And now is when they earn their job. We talk about the player. We talk about it from the aspect of a player, but let's also talk about it from a general manager or a presidential aspect. It's the time where all of your money that you spent, someone told you as an owner, also let's talk about it as a team owner, someone came to you and asked you for a huge check because they thought we needed to make some moves down low with the players. And so you wrote this check, and now this guy's job is on the line. The guy who asked you for the check, I hate to say it, the guy, thank goodness, I think it was the general manager, Steve Kerr, and those guys won the championship. But when they went out and got KD and built that super team, this guy's responsible for it. And so you see on one end of it, speaking of general managers, David Griffin from Cleveland was fired because the move that they made to go and get all those people didn't work out. So he's the guy who came upstairs and asked for the check, and he's responsible. And if it doesn't work, then he goes. And it's what happened. On the other side, the general manager from Golden State, wow, I cannot think of his name, did a great job. And, of course, the rest is history. What are your plans? I wanted the people to know that here at TMBT Media, we're working on some more TV plans with Aaron and going forward with the television part of TMBT Media. We're also going to be having some basketball fundraisers, TMBT parties, fundraisers, raising money for our kids, our basketball program. Really wanted to give a special shout out and welcome to Millwood Academy coach Dennis Calloway, who was victorious last weekend in the River City Reign basketball 14U tournament. Those young men were able to win the championship trophy in that division. We were blessed to have played at the great Ben Wallace's facility. We had parents that came down from DMV, parents from Richmond, and we really made it a family affair. So I promised the kids that I would give a special shout out to our TMBT 14U basketball championship team. Joel Starlings, Jaden Daughtry, Tyler Mason, and Coach Dennis Calloway, and the rest of those boys on that team. Great group of young men, and also great group of parents. I really want to give a special shout out to our parents that came down from DMV. Greg Mason, Darius Ransom, and the rest of those parents. They were great. Mr. Eric Wilborn and those guys, great parents. They came down for practice on Tuesday, which was about an hour drive, and then they came back for the game and stayed all day on Saturday with us while the kids won the championship, and then we had pizza for them. The biggest part for me, Aaron, you're going to laugh, because I always love for my guys to have pizza after the games. I don't care if we win or lose. My wife always gets some pizza, and so they won, and so everyone else was, I won't say they were mad, but of course when you don't win, you leave early. So we were the last ones there, man. We were in the lobby eating pizza. The parents were having a good time, and so everyone was tired, but it was worth the time spent. And so also wanted to give a special shout out to Chris Butler, who has joined us. He has joined our TMBT team as well. And also Brandon C., who has joined us as well. And so we're looking forward to a full summer. We'll have a lot going on for our youth. We'll have some fundraisers to help our young men do some things around the community. Also, we have Lion, which is leaders in our community, leaders in our neighborhood. So we'll just be in the community. Talk to me a little bit about what you have going on as well, and wanted to give you and your groups a special shout out. Give you a chance to talk about a little bit the groups that you're doing with the neighborhood centers in Northside, with the Hoskage Field. Talk a little bit about that, my brother.
Okay. Milton, again, always putting me on the spot. But, so, well, actually, tomorrow, I do different speaking engagements, whether motivational speaking or what have you. I will be, I don't have everything in front of me, but I'll be on the south side of Richmond, Saturday morning doing it, have a speaking engagement where I'm one of the speakers. It's actually a fatherhood workshop. Mm-hmm. And what it is actually teaching young men, young fathers on the principles of being a good dad. Mm-hmm. So I will be one of the speakers with that. So that's tomorrow, and got a lot of stuff going on. I guess throughout the summer, a couple of things that's in the planning stages now. And actually, me and Milton has talked about different things like fundraisers and different events for the youth, for the summer. And that's just pretty much it. Just couple of engagements, speaking engagements and radio, TV, you name it. It's a lot. So just we'll just be there. And I like this. And what I want, I'm gonna put Milton on the spot for us. Maybe we can do this. Maybe do this on a weekly, like basketball. Throughout the playoffs. That playoff update. The next month or so. Yeah, next month or so.
Well, on our next one, on the next one, we'll have some results from the games that we talked about today.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to talking about it, especially that 76ers versus Miami. That could be pretty. That's going to be pretty good and nasty basketball, old school basketball like we like.
There you go.
Hey, anybody else that you want to, I know you deal with so many people and so many people help your programs and what you're doing. Is there anyone else you wanted to give a shout out? We're going to wrap up here pretty soon, TMBT Media, but just wanted to give a special shout out to everyone that helps us. Warner C, Tara G, people that donated for our movie night to see Black Panther. I think you went with us on that. That was a success. We'll be taking hopefully another group back to see it. We'll have to finish up the show. We couldn't talk about anything going on in the world right now bigger than Black Panther. Of course, you have stuff going on in other countries, but I think where I read the other day that it has surpassed any and every expectation that it's had. And so special shout out to Ronson Gidgets and Ryan Cougar, those guys. I've been doing a little more research on it, and so we'll be going back to check in on it again. But just a pleasure to watch greatness. I think you and I talked about it being a period piece. You know, it's one of those pieces that it defines a period. So it's good to see that, and it's everything that we thought it would be. And Ronson Gidgets told me on this radio station that they're going to be doing a part 2. Hey, can you imagine how that's going to be? That's going to be incredible.
That's going to be awesome.
Right. Well, we're going to sign off here at TMBT Media with Aaron Turner. I'm Milton Bell. This is the Milton Bell Basketball Show, and we will be back next week with more results from the playoffs. So we're signing out, and thank everyone for joining in.